Coming up on Flowing into Awareness with Master Intuitive Anatara. Who is in charge of your ascension? What is ascension? What does it mean to us as human beings? How does it affect us and our flow in life? This and more is coming up next on Flowing into Awareness. This week's episode is brought to you by Support the Mountains Herbal Parasite Cleanse. This formula targets the small and large intestinal tracts and larvae, the most broad-spectrum formula available today. 100% organic, formulated by Dr. Mikio Sankey, author of the Esoteric Acupuncture series. For 10% off your first bottle, visit shopyogahub.com and use the coupon code CLEANSE at checkout. Hello and welcome to YHTV's Flowing into Awareness with visionary and master intuitive Anatara. I'm Christina Suzuma, your host of this program. Today our topic is, who is in charge of your ascension? And with us is the beautiful Anatara.
Hello there, Christina.
Hello, Anatara. Ascension. What is ascension?
We don't hear about it as often as we used to. And there was such an emphasis about the fact that we're all going to ascend and what is ascension and what does it mean and what will it feel like and then what will happen to the planet because of that. I thought it was a good idea to revisit it.
That's a great idea. As you say, we haven't heard of this topic for a long time.
That's right. I think there are lots of people who are still working at it and attempting to find it for themselves. So there are people that are thinking about it, but my feeling is that we are all in a mode of ascension, and I'll talk about ascension more in a moment, but we're all in a mode of ascension. And even all of the horrible and terrible things that we see happening on the planet, they are part of this ascension. You know, the wars and the leaders that don't seem to not be able to understand the people, the fear, there's so much fear, so much pain, so much suffering. This is all part of our taking ourselves as the human race through our own ascension process. So if we look at the planet and we look at this experiment that I've talked about before, where we come here as very open and very bright and very aware entities, beings, and we check into this world of density and material things and physical pain and survival, literal physical survival, that changes our perspective in so many ways, and it shows us that it seems that it's important that we forget that we are already ascended. So what is that ascension? Ascension to me is completely being able to live a life that is heart directed, that is intuitively directed, that takes the signals and the moments of meaning and the answers from everything around us rather than from what the physical tells us, the sounds, the tastes, the feelings, the doubts, the fears, the pain, the belief in suffering, that we have to suffer to get somewhere. So if ascension is simply becoming peaceful, and we talked about that a few shows ago, what happens to us when we become peaceful? What happens to us when we accept that peace is okay, and that peace is who we are, and that peace is everything? So we then notice that there's peace everywhere, and we notice that those things that don't seem so peaceful are just little glitches on the horizon, that they may be tapping on our shoulder or kicking us in the butt sometimes and making us uncomfortable, that we may be involved in a car crash, somebody we love might die, our house might fall down, but that none of those things separate us from peace, and therefore they do not separate us from what I'm calling ascension. So if ascension is that complete opening and being and understanding that we are united, we are one with each other through the oneness that we know within us is combined with all oneness around us, then ascension is happening no matter what we think and no matter what we do. So perhaps I'm just saying you are ascending. It's not something that you have to work at. It's not something that you have to try to do, but it might be something that you can notice. How about you look around and you see where your attitudes and your ideas have changed? How about you look around and you see that and feel sometimes that there is a new energy here on the planet. There is an accessibility to certain streams of consciousness and focus and awareness that might have been a little bit harder to find 5, 10, 20, 30 years ago. And that even in the depth of the despair that we feel and think sometimes about our leaders and the choices that they make, and about the wars that are being perpetrated in other places, how about if those particular events allow us to look at what really matters to us and allow us to take advantage of the ways in which we have become more aware and in the ways in which we have ascended beyond the pettiness of some of those things. Ascension is not complicated. It's not difficult, and it's not far away. You are in the middle of it. And I just want to remind everyone that you are your own ascension. And even the things that you still label as being painful and unfortunate, they're part of your ascension. They are part of you being a bigger, grander, more open, more unique, more accessible individual. One of the words I really like to apply to ascension is accessibility. Look around and ask yourself, how accessible am I to this particular idea? How accessible am I to my friends? How accessible am I to new ideas that might want me to pay attention to them? So use your level of accessibility, your level of approachability by different things as an indication of how your ascension is progressing. And believe me, it's progressing whether you know it or not, and whether you want it to or not. You can't remove yourself from this. You can't hold back. You can't get away from it. You're it. You are it.
I love that. Run if you can, but you can't hide.
That's for sure. And you don't want to hide either.
It's innately in us. That's hilarious. That's a wonderful way of putting it, Anatara.
Yeah. And part of this crazy experiment is that we will ascend,
whether we like it or not. And
that's right.
It's how we choose to do it, isn't it?
That's right.
Yes, this is a great wake up call. I like this. Right. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much, Anatara. This is yes, we will think of it as a wonderful wake up call as we ascend.
Go for it. Get your wings working.
And flap hard.
Really hard.
Thank you. And of course, we would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us in this new platform of education and information. We're grateful for your continuous support, and we look forward to hearing your feedback on how we can serve you better. You can also connect with Anatara by following her on Twitter @Anatara, or on Facebook, Master Intuitive, and of course through her own website, anatara.ca. We hope that this moment on YHTV has supported you or a loved one in some way. We invite you to take a moment to like us or subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are always grateful for any feedback, comments, suggestions. Please give us a call at 818-LETS-TALK. 818-LETS-TALK. Until next time, namaste.
I think that a lot of people get hurt, spraining muscles or tearing muscles or bruising muscles, and not always sure what to do. And most of the time, people don't do it as well as they can. So I always think that by having an understanding of some of these systems, give you more insights in how to prevent problems, prepare yourself to be in the best shape, muscular-wise,